Good afternoon, everybody. Are you sick of me this week? It feels like I've been on Facebook every day, but do you know what? It's all good because it's all to do with tangling. So just before we started today, I've shut the door. I've made sure there's no flies in the house because Benji's frightened to death of them, and we're all online for a nice, relaxing time. So if you're ready, we'll make a start. What do I have? I've got a tile like my regulars. This is sort of that clay kind of colour. And you can see there I've actually done a bit of inking. I've just taped a little bit of, or even put a piece of card either side and used the Flourish background stencil and just added a little bit of interest in that centrepiece there. Got my regular pen, pencil, tortillon, and I've got my coloured pencils with me today. So let's see where we're getting, shall we? Lovely to see. Thank you, Chris. Lovely to see all of you. It's I'm sucking on a bit of a sweet as well because, of course, I'm at home, so I don't have Leslie to make me a cup of tea. But it'll be fine. I'll have one after. So here we go. Are we ready? Oh, it's one of those sherbet sweets, you know that. Oh my goodness me. Okay, I should have eaten it before I started. Coming straight in with pen. What am I using? My 03 regular one, and I'm going to choose top and a bottom. Doesn't matter which, actually. There you go. It really doesn't. That's quite nice, isn't it? Actually, do it that way. Okay, so I'm going to start with some bubbles along. This is going to be what's called the bottom. So I'm going to turn it over so I just find it easier to, I don't suppose it matters with a bubble, does it? Not really. Let's put some bubbles in at the bottom there. And of course, if you wanted to, you could use the Lockheed Lane stencil and put pebbles in if you wanted to. There you go, see, sort of not too small, more sort of bubble than, there you go. Let's have one there that can, on there. So it's slightly coming out of the shape a bit there. It's giving me a nice little baseline to work to. I'm gonna have another one hidden in there. And you see I've got a bit of a gap there, it doesn't matter. I'll leave it. Okay, that's the one, yeah. Oh, so yeah, absolutely. Tile swaps. They are in the post, everybody. We did take a photograph of it. It's on John's phone. So as soon as he gets back this evening, I'll nick it off him and then we can put it on Facebook for you so you can see them all. Fantastic pieces, they really are. So, okay. Are you ready for this next bit? All right, here we go then. I'm going to come in with pencil. Just, shall I? No, let's just do it in pen. Let's be brave. So I'm going to start, let's go here. I'm going to bring in a bit of a wavy line, like so. And then I'm going to come around with a wavy line. And then I'm coming back in. I'm not going to join it in the base there too much. I'm going to leave it like that. Okay. Joanne, yes, you can tangle them under the flourish on top. What I would do, I wouldn't, if you're going to use your pencil and shade, then that might move a bit when you ink it on the top and it'll go into your colours. So I would draw it, then ink it, then shade it, if that makes sense. Because whatever you do with your pencil, it's going to move. Okay, bit of a wobble there. Right, let's do one on that side too. See, it's just touching. Okay. Let's do another one of those. I'm going to come up this way this time, so here we go. I'm going to turn my tile a little bit. There's the sort of first side. Bit of a wobble. And back in. Leaving that little gap there. And then let's bring that one round. There you go. Oh, Chris, that doesn't sound very good. How can you tangle your arms in the air? Goodness me, what's going on? Okay, so see, I've got that kind of thing. Now I'm going to put another one in, but I think before I do that, I'm going to join these to the bottom there. So in it comes. I'm going to bring in that sort of line there. Don't do the other stems just yet. Okay, So I'm going to come in with pencil, and I want to put a leaf in, and this is why it's going to come in pencil first, because it's going to sort of go over that way. Okay, it's quite a large leaf. So you can see it's going to go underneath this bit here, but I didn't want both stems in the way for now. So let's put a line up the middle just to get us going. And then from the bottom here, I'm going to come in, come back on it on myself, and then create another one. And back on myself, and another one. Same on the other side, in and back on myself, in and back, and then in. So I can then come in with my pen and pick up on the bits that I can see, sort of creating that leaf there. And then in the centre here, let's thicken it up a little bit. You see that's going to join there. So if I take away now, just sort of rubbing lightly on this, those pencil lines, you can see it's sitting behind there, isn't it? Okay, that's great. Let's do another one of those. I'm going to come out this way. So as before, a log, so quite a large sort of leaf, and then let's find that centre. Turn it to making sure the centre's sort of level with you. Up and back, up and back. And same here. Okay. So far so good. So I'm going to draw in that shape there. I quite like it going a little bit sort of finer at that point there. Just elongate it a little bit. I think that's quite nice. And then of course my real thin triangle at the beginning there. Yeah, I've just sort of joined it into that stem, being that it's at the front. You see? Okay. And then as before, now always make sure you know your pen, because sometimes if you've got a new pen, it might be a bit juicy and it might sort of move if you rub it out. But this one, it's been okay. So I'm going to add a little stripe down the middle there. And same with this one. Okay. So far so good. So this one here now, I can actually just bring in, look, my stem there. It's going to sort of sit just slightly behind that leaf, but you see it's giving it a little bit of depth. If we had all of the stems at the front, it would look a little bit odd, and all the leaves at the back. So that's why we've mixed and matched it a bit. So I'm going to do the same here. Put my pen down for a moment, and I'm going to bring a leaf in. Okay, and then I want a leaf sort of coming up and that way as well. Put my centre in, and then come in again with those little points. Now I did say I wanted another flower in, so before we get carried away with pen, let's have a little look at this and think what we're going to do. The 2 is probably enough. I think it's a nice balance here, but if you wanted to bring another one in and sort of bring it here again, draw it in pencil, so you know it'd sort of sit there maybe, and then you've got to decide whether that's going to go behind that leaf or in front. If it's in front, then you're going to draw the whole thing and bring it in. But looking at it now, as much as I thought 3 would be fine, I think the 2 is probably it there, but that's a nice little hint, just to draw them in pencil over the top of each other, and you see what you think. So if you wanted an extra flower there, that's how you would do it. But for this one, I'm going to leave it at those 2. So again, I can come in with my pen and draw in that leaf shape. So I'm just going to bring it into that stem a little bit at the front, you see. And then of course another one here. Now you've got to look carefully because you think, right, what do I need? What don't I need? And there it is. Okay, let's get rid of any pencil marks now. I think that's a good way of looking at anything that you're going to draw. If you're not sure, put it in pencil and you make your decision before you actually go for it. There we go. All right, like that. So again, let's put a couple of these little stripes in place. There we go. And just into that one. Okay, so far so good. So I'm going to come in a little bit now. And let's have a look at these flowers. So looking at the sides here, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to follow the shape, so yours might be a little bit different. And I'm going to come in with a line. So if you've got a 2 pen, this might be the time to use it because it's going to give you a finer line on these, on the inside there. You see, I'm working my way around each time. See how sort of heavy that's become now. It does look a bit like that, doesn't it? Maybe you're going to colour yours red. I don't know what colour I'm going to do yet. So see here, I'm not going exactly to the point every time because it's going to get a little bit too much there. So here we go. I'm going to go as far as I can to the line there. And then these little bits here, let's sort of join them off. Okay. So that a little bit heavier there, like that. And then let's just do it a little bit heavier there too. Okay. So I'm going to turn my attention to the other one. So I'm going to work in it the same way, putting those little lines in. Just sort of follow it round. If you'd rather do it the other way around, so the flower head's upside down, if you think that's a little bit better for you, then you can do it that way. Just going to make sure it's a little bit heavier on that side. And same on this side. So again, bringing in those lines. You see now we've got that lovely pattern in the background, but it's not sort of taking over. It's just giving you a little bit of a base in there. Let's put that line back in. There we go. Okay, let's have a little look. Okay. So our next little bit, I'm going to come in, it doesn't matter which one, because we're going to do this into both. I'm going to come, actually it might be worth doing some bubbles first. They're not too small. Now if you watched the tile swap yesterday, this might be something that you think, oh, I could do that. Because I'm going to extend these down here and thicken them up a bit. And again, they're all going to the centre, but you see how they slightly wave? It's slightly wavy. So I'm filling it as I go. So again, if you wanted to use your 5 pen here, that'll give you a thicker line to start with. Okay. So let's go in a little bit now. So that would cover your tile swap, wouldn't it? Doing it like that. I'm going to come in and I'm going to put some little lines all the way around each one. You see? Let's thicken up the bottom. And then little lines around each one. Oh, Wendy, don't you know? just have a cup of tea. You'll be fine. I haven't got any cake. I know John brought some last night and he polished it off quite handily last night. But I don't really worry about it. There you go. So I can't eat anyway, so it don't matter, does it? Okay, let's have a little look at that. Look at that, how sweet is that? I think I'm going to bring another one, you know, just out here. So, you know, have a look at yours, and if you feel that you need to do another one, it's a little bit sparse, then you could come back in and add another one. See? So again, I'm putting my bubbles first, but if you want to, you can do each one with a stem, or you can draw your stems first. I'm going to put one here, look. Let's see what that looks like, okay? They would look like she's. You can do that if you want, honestly. I can't wait until the gnomes are all out and about doing their rounds. Sarah's busily packing. She's been busy for the last couple of days, so they're on their way. Just, you know, a little bit of patience we're getting to them. And of course, because our yodel guy comes at sort of lunchtime, then we can only send out what we've packed up to the lunch. So yes, Wendy, the poinsettias will be on the website, and again, I'm just waiting on paper for that to come in, and hopefully that'll be in, if not tomorrow, Thursday, so I can put them on the website then. So yeah, they'll be there. The papers had to come from Italy, so it takes a little while, and then of course they cut it down to size, because otherwise we'd have huge sheets and we'd have to do it ourselves, so we have to get them to cut it for us, and their factory over here. So we're on it again. As soon as we can, we will. Okay. We're working as quick as we can. There you go. All right. Look at that. So it seems as though we've got this lovely design in the front here, and just putting these, it's a little bit plain. So what I want to do, I'm going to go a bit bigger, and I'm going to add in just a couple of lines, you see, and see how they sort of slightly shape as though they're all going towards the middle. Just a few on that top edge, all different sizes, you see. Maybe one there. Don't get carried away with that and put too many in. Oh yeah, thanks Sheila. Yeah, the colour wheel's really useful, isn't it? And again, I will sort that out and put it on the website as an individual download, so that'll be there soon. Just bear with me. Okay, bear with me. All right, I'm liking this. I think it needs a couple of little flourishes. So we've got quite a few that we have in our little arsenal, haven't we, that we can work to. So where are we going to go with this? I think I want some extra leaves in. So if I bring in a line, I'm going to go over that one there. And then at the top here, I'm going to add in a curve that way, curve that way. See again, not too small. Let's have a go. And then let's bring it in. See, I've come round this time and added another one. Now it sort of wanders around. So this time, rather than keeping them straight, those sort of stems are almost twisting around that first one and giving us something a little bit different. I see I can put that one over the top. Okay. Oh, Jackie, I don't know. There are so many colour wheels out there. I just wanted to create one or sort one out that it was useful, you know, it was easy to follow, and we could actually use it to help with what colours you've already got and things. But it works pretty well. So you can't reinvent the colour wheel. There are so many out there already. See, this one I'm going to come around Go a little bit further along, see, and put that one on. And then here I can come around it and along. And then around there, see that one's going to go underneath all of that, but it's still there. And same with this one, I could sort of come in and put it in there, but again, it's going behind that one. The difference that makes. Let's have one here. Just needs something in that bottom section. And along. There we go. Perhaps another one there, look. Getting sort of behind there. All right, let's have a look. And then, of course, I think we need to bring one up there. Again, I'm going around that. You see this time, look, I'm not going straight off of that line. I'm coming around and giving it a little bit more of a bendy shape. I think that looks quite nice. And again, everything has sort of been focused in that middle section. So we've still got like lines. We can actually, you know, space on both sides. So I think last thing, a couple of little flourishes, and I'm going to not do my usual one. I'm going to bring some of those little zingers in. So if you don't know what a zinger is, here it goes. I'm just going to draw it and let you follow. There we go. See, it's getting smaller and smaller. So it's sort of peeking its way out there. And let's bring one in. You can do them any size you like. Don't sort of worry too much about their direction. Just let them do their own thing. Just sort of have them hiding in plain sight. Okay, let's do another one. One more and then that's it. One more. I'm going to go over that leaf there, look. Because it's a solid sort of shape, you can actually go over other things. It works quite nicely. All right, there we go. So I want to bring a bit of colour into this. Now, again, if you want to use your pencil and tortillon, you can do that. I think I'm going to do a little bit of both, but I'm going to address these pebbles first at the bottom. So, of course, I'm going to use my white. I'm going to come in with my mid-grey, and I'm going to use a bit of black on this as well. Okay, so if you're going to use just a regular pencil and tortillon, the black is your pencil, if that makes sense. So you're going to add some to sort of one side, a little bit like a highlight, like we always do. And on this occasion, I'm doing it on the bottom right, but again, whatever works for you, you see. A little bit in there. And then you'd use your tortillon, whereas I'm coming in with my grey to over the top and a little bit further out to take that colour into each of those bubbles. Okay. Now I'm pressing on a little bit there. I'm using a little bit of pressure because I'm not going to layer them because they're only little. They don't need too much work in that sense. See? And then my white. And let's swirl it round just to give it a little bit. It helps to sort of burnish it together, but also it's giving you that little highlight that you need. And if you feel you need to, you can go back in and do another layer anyway. Okay. And, let's have a look at this in a minute, see what we've got there. Okay, you see? So I'm just going to bring that grey in just a little bit more over the top in a few areas. I'm not worried too much if that black doesn't completely blend in. It wants a bit of texture. I'm just going to bring that in. Okay, so that's given that a definite sort of feel to it, hasn't it? So if I just put my pencils back in, I'm going to come in with my regular pencil now. And I'm going to add some just to the underneath of those little bubbles there. You see, sort of an irregular kind of shape there. Tortillon. Let's go in a bit. See, notice I turn it every time because I want to make sure that I've got that bit in there really dark, and then here we can spread it out a bit. It's so much easier doing that with a regular pencil than it is coloured pencils. See, it just gives it a little bit of ground. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so with that done, what's the next job? Now here you've got to think, are you wanting your flowers to be the main thing, or your leaves, or your zingers? I think zingers not so much. I'm going to have those with a bit of pencil on one side. There you go. And sort of a slight zigzag just to soften it out on each side. And being that I've got my pencils here, got in with my white pencil. This is my regular pencil. Let's go in a bit. Let's just look at that. I'll just smudge that there a bit and add a line of it on the opposite side. So it's not going to stand out as much as the chalk pencil, but it's enough, being that we're using colours today. That's fine. Okay. So I'm going to stick with this pencil for a moment, and I'm going to look at the inside of my flowers, add some to that bottom section there, you know, where it's quite dark anyway. And then again, sort of soften it out. Let's pull it out a bit. It's going to help me with my colours in a little bit because I don't want to be trying to blend in there. There we are. So I'm going to go with the red colour, as Glennie said, a little bit poppy-like. But I want to use a darker red. So let's have a look. Let's use the claret. And I'm going to add some just in that bottom edge. You know where I've just put that pencil and blended it. So I don't need to blend it because I've already done it. There we go. Those bits there. There we are. You see? Just gives it that little hint of red there. And then just sort of on the edge around the top here, just ever so lightly, just add a little bit of red in there. There we go. You see just sort of little zigzags. Again, I've not pressed on particularly hard there. Let's have a look at that. It's just going to sit there for a little bit. So I'm going to bring in now let's have a look. My bright red or my light red, and let's colour a little bit of that in here. Again, I'm not going to try and colour the whole thing. I just want to add a little bit of colour in there. There it is. And notice a little bit more pressure on that there. Just a little bit. There we go. And these little bubbles here, let's put in a little bit in there. So the same as I've just done those at the bottom. That is coming in with that red. Okay. So I'm going to come in with my orange. I'm going to use the mid-orange here. And again, just sort of work that in. So that's going to be quite a sort of a strong finish there. There's no light coming through particularly. It's worked the two together. Just a little bit over there. Same on this one. Okay, and this one. So on the inside, ever so sort of slightly less pressure. Just add a little bit in there. Same on this one. Okay, and then of course just a little bit in each of those. So we're almost to the point there where we've not got much space left. There you go. So I'm going to come in with a yellow. What have I got? I'm going to go citrus yellow. Here we go. And again, let's go around those now. So I'm not going to put white in there. I'm going to stick with the yellow. Okay. And then just on the top there, Now, if you're using regular pencil and not colouring in, that's where you'd put your white chalk pencil, where I'm putting my yellow over the top there. Oh, no, I haven't yet. I say I'm getting there. That new bag's beautiful, isn't it? I'll do it this afternoon for you. I'll get it in there, okay, when we've finished here. So come back in with my claret. There it is. And I'm just going to extend that colour out a little bit now. Again, not really pressing on, just sort of extending it a bit. I want most of the attention to be here. Let's have a look at that. Okay. So, a couple of things now. I can sort of come in with green if I want to, or I can keep with what I've got and use my pencil. So I think I'm going to do a bit of both. Pencil and my large leaves. So I'm going to come along this side. And then here, let's do this one. So choose a side and add some pencil in. There we go. So that's it, a little one there, look. All right. Blend it out. Okay. See how it just sort of softens it a bit? You can add a little bit on the other side as well, you know, just bring it in. You don't have to keep it just to one side, but the main sort of depth is on that one side. Notice, look, I've not coloured in any of those leaves or gone over them. Okay, because I'm going to come in with my lightest green, which is the sunny green. I'm going to add some of that onto those leaves. I'm not going to worry about shading or blending those in. I'm just going to add a bit of colour. Okay. You see, just adding a touch. They don't even have to be fully coloured in. It's just about getting something on them there. It's different, isn't it, when you start adding colour? Let's have a look. Okay, almost done. Look at that. So, coming in with my regular pencil, on the stems here, add a little bit in there, and there, and then again, soften it off. And I want to come back with my regular pen. Okay, here we go. And so where I've got everything in front, so this stem is in front. So I'm going to come in and draw that back in, because I do want that to be quite sort of prominent. And again, I think I'm going to put a little bit of green in there. So I'm going to go with one of my darker ones, which is my deep green. And where I've put that pencil, add a little bit just to that sort of section. I see how that brings it out a little bit. And then this leaf next, so let's just add just a little bit. You see, just out all the things in the middle that come sort of at the front. We want to bring out a little bit more. Okay, so I'm not going to try and do all of it. I just want the focus to be there in the front. So bringing those little bits out and coming in up to the main flowers. So remember when we did this? Let's bring that in again and make sure that you can see that wave on there. Okay. So all the attention is there at the front. Okay. A bit around those boulders at the bottom. You see, just sort of adding in sections there. You see the difference that black's made there. And having that extra little bit. And again, I'm going to bring in those stripes, because that's quite strong there. Sometimes, you know, when you go over with graphite, it sort of loses its depth. So going back in is a really good thing to do. And work them in. There you go. bringing that one forward. Okay, let's have a little look at that then. Okay, see, look how much better that looks now. Having that extra line in there just really brings that forward, and it helps to give it that little bit of sort of distance in there. And everything is darker here and it disappears around. Remember that sort of border? You can see now it looks like leaves in the background. So it's just giving it a little bit of interest. And I'm going to come around and add just a little bit of weight to where I put the darker colour on those shapes there. You see the difference? And this one here. Just as I work my way around. There we go. Okay. So, there we go. Another tile for another day, all sorted. So tomorrow you've got a day off. So I'm sure you've got plenty to be getting on with. We've done lots of different things so far. So if it's not your tiles you're keeping up with, it might be the tile swap. It might be your sewing. It might be that your bag arrives. That bag is just beautiful. And I haven't even took a photo and put it on, have I? I'll take a photograph and I'll put it on the Facebook group so you can see it. But there we go. There's our tile for the day. So whether you do it in monochrome, whether you add a pop of colour, do something a little bit different with it, it's all yours. So enjoy and have a lovely afternoon, what's left of it. I know sun's gone in a little bit here, but that's not a bad thing. It's nice to have a bit of a cooling off and just enjoy it. So enjoy, everybody, have fun with it and let me know how you get on. And I will see you back here on Friday for our next tile. Okay, everybody, take care. Bye.